Megan and Tom sat on opposite ends of their couch, the silence between them heavy with unspoken words. The television flickered in the background, but neither of them was paying attention. Their marriage, once filled with laughter and shared dreams, had become a series of disconnected moments. They had been married for 15 years, and the routine of daily life had slowly eroded the spark that once defined their relationship. Megan glanced at Tom, noticing the lines on his face that had deepened over the years. They had both changed, and she wondered if it was possible to find their way back to each other. She took a deep breath and broke the silence. "Tom, we need to talk," she said softly, her voice tinged with sadness. Tom looked up, his expression weary. "I know. Things haven't been the same for a while." Megan nodded, tears welling up in her eyes. "I miss us. I miss the way we used to be." Tom reached out and took her hand, his touch familiar yet distant. "I miss us too. But what do we do? How do we fix this?" Megan wiped away a tear and took a deep breath. "Maybe we need a break from everything. A chance to reconnect and remember why we fell in love in the first place." Tom looked at her, hope flickering in his eyes. "A break sounds good. But where would we go?" Megan smiled, a glimmer of excitement in her eyes. "Remember that bed and breakfast we stayed at when we first got married? The one by the lake?" Tom's face softened as he recalled the memories. "Yes, I remember. That was a magical place." "Let's go back," Megan said, her voice filled with determination. "Let's take a week off, just the two of us, and see if we can find that magic again." Tom nodded, a sense of relief washing over him. "Okay, let's do it. Let's give us a second chance." A week later, Megan and Tom found themselves driving through the winding roads that led to the bed and breakfast. The scenery was as picturesque as they remembered, with rolling hills, lush forests, and the sparkling lake. As they approached the quaint cottage, memories of their early days together flooded back. The owner, Mrs. Hargrove, greeted them with a warm smile. "Welcome back. It's been a long time since we last saw you." Megan and Tom exchanged a glance, their hearts heavy with the weight of the years that had passed. "It's good to be back," Tom said, squeezing Megan's hand. Mrs. Hargrove showed them to their room, a cozy space with a large window overlooking the lake. The room was decorated with vintage charm, and Megan felt a sense of nostalgia as she took in the familiar surroundings. As they unpacked, Megan turned to Tom. "Let's make a pact. No phones, no work, and no distractions. Just us, focusing on each other." Tom nodded, a smile tugging at his lips. "Agreed. Just us." Over the next few days, Megan and Tom explored the area, taking long walks by the lake, hiking through the forest, and enjoying leisurely picnics. They talked about their hopes and dreams, their fears and regrets. Slowly, they began to open up to each other, sharing parts of themselves that had been hidden for too long. One evening, as the sun set over the lake, Megan and Tom sat on the porch, wrapped in a blanket. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, and the sound of the water lapping against the shore was soothing. "Megan," Tom said, his voice breaking the comfortable silence. "Do you remember the first time we came here? how we sat on this very porch and talked about our future. Megan smiled, leaning her head on Tom's shoulder. I remember. We were so full of dreams and excitement. Tom sighed, a hint of sadness in his eyes. Somewhere along the way, we lost that. But being here with you, it's like I'm rediscovering those dreams. Megan looked up at him, her eyes shining with love. Me too, Tom. I want to build new dreams with you, to create a future that makes us both happy. Tom took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. Let's do it, Megan. Let's find our second wind. The days turned into weeks, and Megan and Tom found themselves falling in love all over again. They laughed, they cried, and they rediscovered the joy of being together. The bed and breakfast had worked its magic, and they felt a renewed sense of hope and commitment. As their stay came to an end, Megan and Tom stood by the lake, the water reflecting the clear blue sky. They held hands, their hearts full of gratitude for the time they had spent together. Megan, Tom said, his voice filled with emotion. This place has given us a second chance. Let's take what we've found here and bring it back home. Megan nodded, tears of happiness streaming down her face. Yes, let's do that. Let's make every day an adventure and never lose sight of what we have. They shared a tender kiss, sealing their promise to each other. As they drove back home, Megan and Tom felt a sense of peace and excitement for the future. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever came their way, hand in hand. Back in their familiar surroundings, Megan and Tom made a conscious effort to keep the spark alive. They set aside time for each other, went on regular date nights, and made small gestures of love and appreciation. Their marriage was not perfect, but it was stronger and more resilient. One evening, as they sat on their couch, Megan looked at Tom, her heart full of love. Tom, thank you for taking this journey with me. I feel like we've found something truly special. Tom smiled, pulling her close. Thank you, Megan, for believing in us and for never giving up. I love you more than words can say. Megan leaned into his embrace, feeling a sense of contentment and joy. They had found their second wind, and their love was a testament to the power of resilience and commitment. As the years passed, Megan and Tom continued to build a life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. They faced challenges together, supported each other's dreams, and never lost sight of the magic they had found at the bed and breakfast. Their story was one of second chances, a reminder that love can endure and flourish even in the face of adversity. Megan and Tom knew that no matter what the future held, they would face it together, their love a beacon of hope and happiness. And so, their story continued, a beautiful journey of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between two hearts meant to be together.